think I need a better drummer.
Street dance has become more mainstream. I think street dance was always seen as the dance that you do on the corner of the street, in the clubs, an underground urban thing, when actually that's not the case. It's just another form of expression, it's another way to dance. It doesn't matter what colour you are, you can enjoy it, you can be great at it, and it has crossed over into a more mainstream way.
What is it that you love about dance?
Everything you need to know is in my dancing.
Everything.
You may not recognise this film clip, but your teenage son or daughter probably will. Step Up 3D is the third instalment in the Step Up franchise, and after a week's release worldwide this month, it had grossed around £22 million. The film is not heavy on plot or acting talent, but the dance and choreography is truly awesome. The days of Patrick Swayze and Nobody Puts Baby in the Corner are over, as these young hip kids pull extraordinary moves. You're constantly worried they're going to break their necks, whilst you marvel at their perfectly toned abs. Where did it all begin? Everyone I spoke to cites one man, Michael Jackson. Here's Jordan Banjo from Britain's Got Talent winners Diversity.
I think I can talk for the whole of Diversity on this, that whether you're a singer, an actor, a dancer, Michael Jackson had such a hand in every type of talent. You know, he was amazing, and I think for us, I mean, down to our music, costumes, some of our moves, you know, he's one of our biggest inspirations.
How has your lives changed since winning Britain's Got Talent?
Well, I mean, it just has to be the same answer all the time. I mean, it's been such a whirlwind, you know, I mean, none of our feet have even touched the floor. I mean, we've done so much, from danced on Downing Street, we've done the Mobos, the Royal Variety Show, the BAFTA Awards. There's just so much to mention, but yes, everything's been just crazy.
And along the way, I mean, you've been picking up awards for being positive role models for young people. Yeah. How important is that to you, to get that recognition?
I mean, that's massively important. I mean, because even though we always have a message with what we do, you know, and we've got a motto, and it's dream, believe, achieve. And, you know, that's what we did, and it got us where we are today. And I think to pass it on to other young people, to really help them achieve where they want to be, is really good for us.
Did you ever imagine that street dance would become this popular and this mainstream?
That's always been our dream, you know, to see something like an art that we love become so big. And, you know, I think we're really proud to be at the forefront of that in the UK, really bringing it out into the mainstream.
For those of you that are involved in the lock-in routine, please make sure that you rehearse it. Eric, in particular, I need you to put more effort and energy into it, okay?
The United Dance Organisation's World Street Dance Championships take place in Blackpool next weekend. Thousands of young hopefuls dreaming of becoming the next Diversity, Flawless or Spellbound. One such crew is Decepticons. I went to meet them and their mentors from the Positive Futures charity at their rehearsal space in Croydon, South London.
My name's Quasi and I'm from the Decepticons.
And my name is Gerald and I'm from Decepticons.
Well, as you know, we're going to the World Championships, and to actually succeed in that, we need to have a mixture of all the different styles. Popping and locking, they're like the basics of street dance. That's where street dance came from. So they're like the old school kind of dances, yeah? And if you learn the basics of popping and locking, you're pretty much good at all types of street dance, okay? And popping is basically the tension and releasing of your muscles to the funk of the beat, so like 1, 2, 3, 4. Locking is basically like all the points, the locks. It's kind of strong movements, but that are fluent as well. And crump is kind of a newer style, and it's basically like high energy dance. It like includes jumps, stomps.
So you and Gerald are working on this together.
Yeah.
So Gerald, does this then become part of the main dance?
Yeah, because as you know that we're part of Positive Futures, and we're all basically one big group, one big family. But inside Positive Futures, we've got different groups. We've got Funky Fresh, we've got Snap, we've got Brutalicious, and we've got our Decepticons.
Dancing means a lot to us, and even though we're breaking up and working as pairs, when we get to the actual competition, we'll be working together, trying to encourage each other, because we put a lot of work to try and get to the actual competition. So we're aiming to work as hard as possible and make the people that organise it for us proud.
Back to our street dance guru, Alesha Dixon. Where did it all begin for her?
I think I first caught the dancing bug as a young girl when I was watching pop videos. One artist in particular who was my favourite was Janet Jackson. I used to love Paula Abdul. I used to love Madonna, Michael Jackson, and I would literally be in my front room, which I'm sure many young girls still do now, learning the routines, practicing them till I know them off by heart, dressing up in the character of the pop star as well, and dreaming of doing that one day myself.
How do you think kind of street dance or urban dance has moved on from those videos that you watched as a kid?
I think we've always celebrated dance. You know, I know at the moment there's this massive kind of media interest in dance with a lot of the dance movies that are coming out, with a lot of the TV shows. But I think dance has always been loved. And when I look back to when I was a young girl, and Michael Jackson is an obvious person to mention, I think even if you wasn't a good dancer yourself, you could still really appreciate how incredible he was.
You're someone who's also added your voice to anti-bullying campaigns.
Yeah.
Why is it that street dance is something that is used in that way?
I think that it's a form of expression. I find most people that I've met that dance, they dance as a way to kind of, it's soul satisfying. I think people feel free when they dance. You feel alive, you feel more confident, you feel like you're expressing who you are, and I think street dance does enable you to do that. So I think the youngsters really latch onto it because they see it as a way of just having an identity, really.
You're somebody who wowed the nation with your kind of ballroom dance moves as well. How are the two linked?
Good question. How are they linked? They're probably not linked. However, having done street dancing and dancing that is more in that vein, it helped me when I was doing ballroom and Latin dancing, because some of the flavour, like some of the rhythms and the way that you move your body can only help you when you're doing Latin dancing, because Latin dancing is very sexy, it's very extrovert and raunchy, and I suppose in a way you can incorporate some of the moves that you do in street dance into that. Ballroom maybe not so much, but just having the basic rhythm is what I needed, and I think that's what I loved about doing ballroom and Latin, because it was so far removed from anything that I'd been used to.
So we're here now, and this class is more of a hip-hop class, and it's kind of like a slow jam, and he's teaching the
We've heard from the
routine right
stars
now.
and the hopefuls, but how about those choreographers who come up with the latest pop-in, lock-in or crump-in step? I met Stuart Bishop from the Rudai Dance Company, one of Pineapple Dance Studio's most sought-after teachers and choreographers. He says the attention of the mainstream media on his beloved dance form is doing wonders for the industry.
What happened was the actual culture went through a period of, well, actually Oasis and Blur is cool, and it was much more kind of rocky. The pop sort of era had to come, but it was more associated with boy bands and stuff like that. All of a sudden, you start to get reality TV shows, you start to see people like Flawless, Diversity, and it's cool for kids. When I was younger, I wanted to dance, but I didn't dare because the only dance available to me was ballet and jazz. In my room, I would dance to Michael Jackson, I would be doing the caterpillar and the waves and stuff like that, but out in public, it wasn't acceptable. Now, for the kids, you know, they're thinking, well, what should I do? Should I play football or should I go dancing? For the dance industry, it's amazing. You know, we've seen the crossover from people wanting Strictly Come Dancing, big corporate companies, you know, banks or big chains who have Christmas parties and things like that, or annual conferences. They were, you know, we want something contemporary, we want something, you know, Strictly Come Dancing, that kind of style. Now it's all changed. They're saying they want locking and popping. Old ladies are saying this to me. You know, they're ringing, oh, we'd like a big funky dance troupe. Okay.
I need a drummer boy, I bet a drummer boy.
As Decepticons work towards the championships next weekend, who better than Alesha Dixon to give them advice?
Dance as if your life depends on it. And you know what? That's how I felt on the final night of Strictly. I actually felt like my life depended on it. It's like you dance from your heart, dance from your soul. If you're passionate, if you put out that energy, people will pick up on that energy and they will fall in love with it. So just go there and give it 110%. You know, and it really is about the journey sometimes. It's not always about winning, but just enjoy it.
I need a drummer boy, I bet a drummer boy.